Oh my God, you guys. I've been to some pretty cool places, but this is one of the most amazing. Hey, Wonderhussy here. Today I'm at one of the most amazing locations I've ever explored. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I say I'm in the middle of nowhere a lot, but I really mean it this time. Look, this really is the middle of nowhere. This huge, barren, kind of high desert valley with all these busted up old homesteads. There's a ton of old buildings here, and what they are is actually really sad. This valley was settled by ranchers in I think the 1860s, a long time ago, and they had a pretty decent sized community, something like 100 families living out here, and it was all very peaceful, bucolic, supposedly very lush and verdant, and they were able to grow all kinds of amazing crops because there's a lot of groundwater out here. But guess what happened? The government ruined it. What else is new? Because there's a naval air station nearby, right? So they would use the area as training grounds for their fighter jets. And they would do these training bombing missions and strafe stuff and blow stuff up. And they owned land all around this valley. The government owned the land for their training area, but they were buying up all the land around this valley, and I think they kind of had their eyes on this valley. Well, the ranchers didn't want to sell out because they loved living here. So basically what happened is the government just made it so unpleasant for the ranchers that they forced them all out. They would fly their low-level missions with their fighter jets over the valley and at supersonic speed, so it was really loud and disturbing, and eventually they did force more or less all these ranchers and farmers out of the valley. So it's kind of sad. I mean, now there's all these abandoned houses and barns, and the people just ended up leaving. I mean, I guess according to what I read online, I mean, the government did buy them out, but according to some of the ranchers, it was below market value and they didn't really get what the property was worth, and they didn't want to leave in the first place. They were sort of forced out. So it really has kind of a sad history. Although, if you think about it, I'm sure those ranchers forced out whatever Native Americans were living here before them. So, I guess it's just all part of the tide of, or the wheel of history, right? One tribe shoves out another tribe, shoves out another tribe, and so on. In the words of my favorite author, Kurt Vonnegut Jr., just the way of humanity. Look, this was actually a really fertile farming valley at one time. So much so that the water is still running continuously. I mean, just to remind you, this looks kind of like a barren desert valley, but I guess there's a lot of groundwater here, and that's why all these ranchers lived out here and had pretty successful ranching and farming operations till they kind of got run out. I mean, the ground is so marshy here with all the standing water that it's really hard to even get in any of these old buildings, but you can kind of see inside that one. There's nothing left in the way of personal artifacts, just kind of like an old barn or work shed, but still really sad to think of the people who lived here and how much they must have loved this valley. It's interesting though, if you look at what these little buildings are made out of. Look at this. These are old rocket boxes, rocket containers. Isn't that crazy? So even though these ranchers were sort of forced out by the military, they were scavenging their materials to build their own structures. That's weird. And then if you look at this one up close, really pretty rusty patchwork wall, but let's just zoom in on one of these rusty panels. I don't know if you can read that because the light's kind of harsh. Aero brand cyanide from the American Cyanamid Company. Anyway, it's hard to say, who's the bad guy and who's the good guy in this situation, because like with everything, it's not just black and white, it's all shades of gray. So I don't know if the government really jerked these poor ranchers around or if the ranchers were just being obstreperous or what the deal is. But the bottom line is that the military still uses this area to practice blowing stuff up. And there's supposed to be a lot of really cool military ruins in this area. Like, okay, look at this huge friggin' abandoned tank. Have you guys ever seen an abandoned tank up close? Because I sure haven't. I don't even think I've been up close to a tank in person, but look at the size of this thing. Look. I mean, these things come up to my shoulder. I'm 5'3". Number 14. Good old number 14. Holy cow. This thing is incredible. Just sitting out here, rusting away in the desert. Waiting for someone to take it home and show it some love. Just kidding. I think that would be considered looting if you took this thing home. And A, and B, I don't think it would fit in your garage. It's not like you could keep this in there. Okay, you guys, let's try to climb up and get inside the little compartment where the guy sat when he was blasting people. I bet we can. You can climb up here pretty easy, huh? There's lots of footholds. I'll just put my foot right here and grab a hold up here. Wow, far friggin' out. Look at this thing. I don't even know what all these handles are for. I guess just for hanging on to. Wow, I wish I could get inside some of these. All these hatches are like bolted closed. You can't get in any of these things, but let's climb up here and see if we can get into the little compartment where the guy sat when he was blowing people up. Now, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of comments on this video calling me an idiot because I don't know what any of this stuff is, but hey, what can I say? I'm a lover, not a fighter. I mean, my dad was in the Army. I grew up in that culture for a little bit, and he actually did ride around on a tank, probably similar to this. Look at this old radar dish, or I don't even know what that was. There's the RPG launcher, or whatever that was. Looks like there might have used to be two of them, but one of them is missing. And then this thing is maybe that's like a pillar where a second one of those radar dishes was mounted, because it looks like the same base. Look, here's the little hatch where you went down to sit in the there's the seat. Look, that's where the guy sat. Let's go down in there. What do you say? Okay, we're gonna go down into this tank. Yikes, it's real sketchy down here, so I gotta be careful. Sorry if this video is kind of weird, but I don't want to die. Alright, far out, man. I'm sitting in the chair where the guy would have sat when he was operating this thing, and I'm just gonna give you like a panorama of what I'm seeing. Okay, first of all, there's another seat next to me. I'm sitting here in this seat, and then there's a second seat. So I guess there was like two drivers, gunners, I'm not sure what you'd call them. And then there's just control panels and stuff all the way around us. We're kind of like in a little, I guess, rectangular cubby. That's what's behind me there. Look, there's some information that might be useful to you guys. Gun, air defense, artillery, self-propelled assy. Huh. A turret assy. Interesting. So that's what's right behind me, and then there's all these, I don't even know what all this, like, what was this? There's handles on it, but it doesn't move or open or anything, so I'm not sure what was in there and why it has those weird lines on it. And then there's more like moving arms and hoses. I don't know what this was connected to. So interesting. And then directly in front of me, this looks to me like, look, warning, do not reach into feed system. I don't know what it was feeding, but wow. So you definitely don't want to put your hands or feet in there. And then, oh look, here's some kind of a scope, I guess. Like this is what you looked through, I suppose, to see where you're going, maybe? Oh, it says TV trainer. Sorry about the light. So I guess you looked through this. Let me see if I can actually see anything through here. I know, like, the camera doesn't see anything, but let me see what I see. No, I don't see anything either. Huh. Maybe it's blocked with debris or something. Wow, and then this guy that was sitting in this chair next to me, he has some kind of a sight here that he can look through. And then he's got a guidance control system. And he's got this next to him. Oh, look, made by Westinghouse. Interesting. And then looks like he's got some electrical controls over here, high voltage stuff. Wow, this is pretty cool. Holy crike. And then look at this, he's got like a mirror so he could check his makeup. Make sure his mascara wasn't smudged. Nice. They thought of everything in this tank. Radar processor. Wow. This is some kind of handle, but man, none of this stuff moves. I don't know if it's just like too heavy for me because I'm too weak, or if it's rusted or bolted or what the deal is. Okay, now let's look down below us. So this is below my seat. It keeps going down, down, down. I'm not sure what was down there. I suppose I could climb down and check it out. I guess I can. Yikes, it looks kind of scary. Thankfully, it's really cold. It's winter, so there won't be any rattlesnakes hiding in here, I hope. Okay, now I'm down in this creepy shaft down here. Looks like the bottom is pretty solid, so we're going to go all the way down in here. But as we're going down, I'm going to show you a few other things I noticed. Some kind of a control for summer and winter, and it's set on winter, which it's definitely winter. Weird. Huh. And then on this side, as we go down, there's one on this side too, summer, winter. It's some kind of a hose, I'm not sure. Huh. Okay, so now let's keep going down, down, down. Oh wow, look, there's another seat down here. I mean, it's all busted, but I guess maybe there was another guy who sat down here, because look, that looks like it used to have some kind of a gun on it, and there's some kind of like a gas or a brake pedal there. And then those look like tanks full of something. Oh look, and then there's controls for the clutch and the turret override. Holy crike. And then look at this though, it's kind of creepy. There's all these sticks and twigs, like little living things have been making their nests in here. Creepy. And then look on this side. There's more controls. There's like a shifter. Oh look, 900 PSI park brake pressure limit. Yikes. More of this tanks. Looks like there was a smoke generator that was turned on. Wow, this is kind of claustrophobic down here. I wouldn't want to be the dude who had to sit down here underground. Crazy. Oh, I wonder what this thing was. Look. Got a weird button. Wow. So there's a serial number. And then it was overhauled back in '84. September of '84. Oh, wow. Warning. Close driver's hatch during lasing and gun firing. Oh, I guess lasers? Huh. Okay, so this is the driver. I guess it makes sense if he had a gas pedal and a shifter. So this was the dude who was driving it down here. Wow. Look at this little cubby. Oh, it's like got padding, like styrofoam padding on it. Weird. I wonder what was in there. I'll close it back up. And that looks like it was just a little pedal to step on maybe to get up and down from out of here. Yeah, just some more like old crusty controls down here. But wow, how interesting. Okay, so the guy down here was driving, and then these two guys up here, this is where I was sitting at first. I was on that seat, and then there's that seat. These were the guys with the guns, I guess. Look, two-man lift. Huh. What was all this stuff? I know nothing about tanks. I've never been in a tank before, but boy howdy, so interesting. Okay, wow, that was really cool being down in the cockpit of this tank. A really neat experience, but there's so much other cool stuff here that we gotta go check out. Let's go. Look, here's like the old stone ruin of a, I don't know what this was. It looked like it was an old storage building or something. It's crazy. I mean, somebody had a little grain storage building here, but now look at it. Another tank. Let's go check it out. Okay, this tank is all camoed out. Look at this. Wow, same kind of a, well, it looks a little bit different up top, maybe? I don't know. No, I guess that was the same radar dish thingy, and then that's where the two cannons would be. Oh, wow, look, somebody's shoes. Yikes. They don't look that old. Someone's been here fairly recently. Okay, we're just going around the exterior of this tank. This one's like listing badly. I wonder what happened. Let's climb up and see if we can see anything cool up top. Wow, look, somebody painted a red star on it up here. It's like a old Red Army tank. I don't think so. That must just be graffiti. Okay, look, I climbed up on top of it. And we can see down inside. I think it is kind of just like that first one that we went in. Okay, I'm down inside the tank, same as in that first one. I'm sitting here. There's a seat next to me. But look how shiny the knob is on this thing. I mean, it's like brand new. I guess because it's inside here, it can't rust. Oh, wow, it's like a crank. Yikes, what if I ejected myself? Whoa! I don't know what that was. And then look here, I don't know. It's really hard to see because it's such close quarters. But there's this little... Maybe that's just like a note place to write notes or something. I don't know. Golly. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same as that last, or that first one that we were in. And then let's go down one more level to see the driver's seat. Okay, this is actually kind of cool in this one because you can see the driver's seat and the pedals and the controls and the steering wheel is still in it. And it's open to the sky. So I could actually get in there. Let me crawl over there and check it out up close. Okay, this is really close quarters, but I kind of scrumpled myself up into the driver's seat here. I didn't want to sit on the driver's seat because it's real dirty. But I'm in the, I guess the cab or whatever you would call it, of this tank. And this is what you'd be looking at. There's your gauges. And then there's your other controls there. And then straight ahead of you, there's the steering wheel. I'm not sure what these things are for. And you got some other little switches and controls over here. Fresh air vent. Boy, you would need it. Winter and summer. Interesting. There's your shifter. Oh, wow, look at this. There's all kind of stuff on this. Sorry, it's really a tight squeeze in here. If you've ever been in the service and driven a tank, you know what I'm talking about. You would definitely not want to be claustrophobic and drive this thing. Look, here's some more. I gotta get over here. Some more information that might be useful to us. Does that mean anything to you guys? So interesting. This stuff is just out here, by the way. This is public land, and anyone can come out here and explore this stuff. But it's really, really far out in the middle of nowhere. So I don't think most people could be bothered. Well, look, there's like some kind of a throttle or something there. Wow, this is a trip. Okay, now, because this thing is open to the air, I guess, sorry about the light, there was like a rubber gasket or something there, so I guess this was a hatch back in the day. So if the driver had to, he could pop up and peek out, which, you know, he could be looking out at Germany back in the 40s, or France, or Afghanistan, Iraq. God, imagine the different views that people saw poking their head out of this tank. I mean, again, I don't know anything about the age of this tank or where and when it was used, but it's interesting to think. Okay, just to give you some perspective, that's where I just crawled out of. This is the front of the tank, and that hatch there is where the driver's seat was. Yikes. You're protected by all this steel. I guess it's steel. Wow, look at these three crazy vehicles. Okay, that one on the left looks like some kind of a troop transport vehicle. And then that one on the right is some kind of a truck, obviously. But then this one in the middle is like a flatbed tank. Okay, so first let's check out this. I think, isn't that a troop transport vehicle? Again, I know nothing about military vehicles, so You guys are probably all laughing at me, and I'm going to hear about it in the comments. But like I said, I did grow up sort of on an army base, so it's not like I'm a complete idiot about this stuff, but I don't know. Wow, look at this thing. Can you imagine the troops it carried? Well, the tires aren't even really in that bad a shape, considering. Let's look in the cab. Oh, wow, it's not bad. Upholstery's still pretty solid. Driver's seat's missing, though. Oh, wow, so cool. Look at the steering wheel. Shifter knob. Look at this creepy old glove box. Close that up. Look at that. Wow, the hood's out. I wonder if I should flip the hood down or if that would piss people off. There we go. Now we can see out the front window. Look at the front window. It's all broken. Wow, this is cool, man. I always wanted to sit in the cab on one of these, taking my troops down to Hamburger Hill so they can all get killed. It's terrible. Okay, I better close it back up. I like to leave things the way I found them, although I did put that hood down. That's not the way I found it. Okay, let's go on the back side. Wow, look at this. Here's where all the poor troops would have sat on their way to whatever miserable place they were being sent. Can you imagine? Ugh. Camo netting. Camo netting's not cheap either, but that's all shredded up, so A, it wouldn't be ethical to take it, and B, it's kind of too destroyed really to be of any use. All right, that was pretty cool. Okay, now here's this other truck. Let's check this one out. This looks like it was just meant to carry supplies, I guess. Looks like kind of like a typical big rig to me. Okay, now let's go see inside the cab. Uh-oh, hearing protection required. Okay, it's probably really loud in here. Wow, look at all the directions are all just printed on little labels. It's interesting. Gear shift directions. Wow, and then look at the glass. It's all shot out. Now, I don't know. Again, I think I said this earlier. I'm not sure if that was shot out because this was meant to be a practice target for the pilots that are flying overhead, or if people just came out here and shot this stuff up for the fun of it. But okay, now we're going to check out this flatbed tank. Like, I have never seen anything like this. And what's funny is from the front, it almost looks like it has a face. It needs those car eyelashes.
I think it's amphibious.
Oh, my friend thinks this is an amphibious vehicle. That's a good idea because, yeah, look at the front. It almost does look like a boat. Oh, maybe this was meant to go in the water, huh? Oh, look, we can go up in the back. Wow, look how rusty the treads are. Is that what you call those things? Treads? I'm not even sure. Oh, wow, look. Okay, so here's the back of it. I'll climb right up in it. Oh, see, yeah, these do kind of look like little watertight portholes. 4 of them on here. I don't know. I mean, these are like benches along the side, I guess, to carry troops onto the beaches of Normandy or something like that. Okay, so climbing up into the cab. Arrgh. All right, now we're up in the cab. We can see a little bit closer maybe what's going on. Oh, wow, look, even the old seatbelts are still here. Kind of cool. Hearing protection required in this one too. I don't know, it's just kind of all looks like basic engine stuff. So I'm not sure there are any clues as to what the heck this was for. You guys will let me know in the comments though, I have a feeling. Oh wait, look, okay, here. Carrier can sink, personnel can be drowned. Do not ford water deeper than 40 inches. So you basically, it couldn't go into water deeper than 3.5 feet. So I guess it wasn't really truly amphibious. Okay, so it was really just kind of a tank that could go through a bit. Oh look, Red River Army Depot, our best, nothing less, has gone into the rebuild of this vehicle. So they rebuilt it at the Red River Army Depot. Is that in Texas? And then it ended up way out here. Interesting. Okay, here's some even more abandoned vehicles just sitting out here. So it looks like there's another one of those amphibious type things and a truck. But then look at this. This is looks like an old Jeep. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's totally thrashed, but it might be kind of neat to check out. You can see the engine just sitting out there baking away in the sun. I mean, this is the desert. So I don't think, even though there's snow on the mountains back there, I don't think it comes down to this elevation much. I mean, that being said, it is in the 30s today, so maybe it does snow here, and that would account for some of the rust. But aside from that, it's generally a pretty favorable conditions for stuff to just decay and sort of slowly and genteelly so that we can enjoy them. Look at this Jeep. Wow, I mean, back in the day, I'm sure it was a beaut, but not anymore. Although I guess you could argue that it has a strange sort of beauty now. There I go again, talking my liberal elitist art school talk. I'll stop that right now so that you can enjoy this the real American patriotic way. Oh man, this won't open. It's stuck on the frame. That's weird. Design flaw. Well, look, this was the hood. So you can see the controls. Wow, what? Look at the gear shift boot. It's all crusty. I guess I'll leave the hood open. People left it that way because they like to see the what do you call them? Spark plugs? Is that what those are? Is that a straight 8? I don't know anything about engines. I'm just guessing. Somebody will probably tell me in the comments. Okay, here's this truck. Now this truck is a lot more busted up than the other one we looked at. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm out here exploring with two girls, two other women. Finally found some other women that like to do this stuff with me. They both are into still photography of abandoned places. So it works out great. I shoot my videos, they shoot their stills. We all try to stay out of each other's way. So far it's worked out great. Let's see here. Wow, look how cool. It's broken glass. Look at this bullet hole. Yikes. Oh, here we are. Maximum speed 50. Oh, it couldn't go too fast in this. Wow, look at these controls. Anybody watching ever drive one of these in the service? Bring back memories. Aw, can you imagine if you drove this back in the Vietnam War? You were listening to, well, I guess there probably wasn't a radio, so you couldn't be listening to any music. Wow, and look at the controls to open the front windows. It's funny, why would you want to open the front window? Wouldn't that just get dust in your face? That's weird, I don't know. Let me see if this door opens. Maybe we can actually go in. It's rusted shut. Ugh, bummer. Okay, there's one more vehicle here to check out, and it looks to be another one of those, well, what we thought was amphibious. Such a funny design, I love it. But I'll say this, these things are solid. When I was climbing around on those tanks, like grabbing onto those handles, you really get a good grip. You don't have to worry. Oh, well, look at the winch on the front of this thing. Cable is still intact. There's the winch directions. Guess you kind of had to spell it out. All right, so looks like we could probably climb up into the cab on this one because the door's open. Oh, dang, something built a nest in the cab. Actually, I think bald eagles might nest out here. Wouldn't that be sick if a bald eagle was nesting in this old military vehicle? Oh, hey, look at the roof in the cab. Like there was some kind of a turret or something. Interesting. Maybe it had a gun mounted in it? I don't know. Go around to the driver or to the passenger side and see if we can get in that side. Man, this is like Disneyland for if you're into abandoned military vehicles out here. Oh, carrier, cargo, full tracked. So it was a full tracked cargo carrier. I'm still curious about this porthole on top. Let me back up from a distance and look at it. Yeah, it does look like there was some kind of maybe gun mounted on it. Wow, that is intense. Okay, wow. This place was amazing. I mean, you can see my friend and my cars back there. We could probably drive around for another 3 months and still not see all the amazing abandoned military vehicles out here, but we're gonna leave this creepy place now. But Wow. What a trip this place was.